then leads us to the final point where we can now say, right, so we now want to close the sale. Now remember, something I need to just bring up right at this point. When we talk about closing a sale, I think it's the wrong terminology. What we should really mean is, yes, I've got an order, but what that order really means to me is not that the business is closed, but that the sale has actually opened. So what we've done is we've opened a relationship with our customer where we're now saying, we are here to serve you. We are here to deliver on all those promises that we've actually made. We're here to ensure that there's a modality of fair exchange all the time. We're here to ensure that we are here, we have your best interests at heart. We are here to ensure that we are invested in developing and nurturing a modality of fair exchange. We are here to ensure that on a daily basis, we are going to continually be adding value to the relationship. Remember, your customers buy from you and your organization. So the question you've got to be asking is, yes, I might have closed the sale, or should I rather say opened the sale, where now this is a point where I am looking to actually reinforce, to nurture the relationship, to make sure that I'm there with my customer's best interests at heart. So let's just rewind closing. Remember, we're now sitting in the meeting, and yes, the final negotiation might be ongoing, but where did we start closing the sale? Not when we walked into that meeting. We started closing the sale when we already started saying, well, what do we sell? Well, what do we sell? We asked the question, well, what we sell is not the gizmo that we sell, but it's rather what it can do for our customers. So we need to answer that really crucial question. What does our product or our service ultimately do for our customers? In other words, if from their perspective, what is in it for me? Your customer needs to sit and they need to say, okay, so when I buy this product or I use this service, how am I going to benefit? That is the communication you need to be having. So the way to translate, because you see, we're good at communicating features, but we are not good at talking benefits. So the way that we interpret a feature and we turn it into a benefit is we use the so what example. So for example, our product has a 24-hour battery life. So what? Well, so that when you're out using your mobile phone, you're not going to run out of battery and you're not going to miss any really important business calls. So it's crucial that you need to always translate a feature into a benefit for your customers. So when we go right back and we now start knowing what we sell, we know who our tribe is. In other words, we know who needs exactly what we sell. At that point, we need to actually qualify the customer, and then we need to build a plan for every single customer, right? Because once we've got a plan for every single customer, we know what research is required, we know what effort we need to put into that customer, and we start to get a very deep understanding of how we're going to approach the customer. Remember, it's not the customer's job to understand how our value proposition is going to serve them. It's up to us to ask the right amount of questions and for us to uncover how we can actually serve them. And that is what your plan needs to outline, is exactly what your approach is going to be. It's got to include agendas, it's got to include meetings. And remember, when you leave a meeting, even if you don't, for want of a better word, close the sale, you should never leave a meeting without having arranged another appointment. So before you go to any meeting, you need to have a plan. You need to be crystal clear on what am I going to do next. And even when you close the sale, you need to have an answer to the question, what am I going to do next? You see, selling, or should I rather say closing or opening the sale, starts with you having a plan. It starts with you, what I like to refer to as precision helping. So you need to build a really in-depth plan. Now, obviously, you can't do this for 100% of your customers. But remember, 20% of your customers probably give you 80% of your business. And so you need to build a plan, a precision helping plan, where you can build an unbelievable predictable sales process. And remember, predictable sales process encompasses 3 elements, right? So now, yes, we've closed the sale, but we need to look at these 3 elements. The middle element is, how am I now going to create an unforgettable customer experience, right? What am I going to do to constantly add value? How am I going to create a set of raving fans that are going to absolutely love me so much that they're going to refer customers to me, that they're going to edify me, and that they're going to give me recorded testimonials so that I can have trust transference? Because the first element over here is, how am I going to acquire customers strategically, right? And remember, I'm getting referrals, I'm getting testimonials, I'm getting edification, so that by creating an unforgettable customer experience, what I'm doing is I'm actually feeding the funnel up front. And now the question you've got to ask is how am I going to strategically acquire these customers? Because these 2 crucial elements all lead up to the final phase, which is closing. And closing is an art. It's not a case of manipulation. It's a case of understanding that closing starts way before you're sitting in front of that customer in the final meeting.